This act's called the No Child Left Behind Act because we want to make sure no child is left behind.
Hi, I'm Zac Elz, and today I'm here in front of Georgia Perimeter College to talk to you about America's education system. Today, the government employs No Child Left Behind by George W. Bush and Race to the Top by Barack Obama. These programs are meant to increase scores on the SATs, EOCTs, and CRCTs. However, I personally believe that these programs are killing creativity in the classroom, and this is what I'm here to talk about today. A few months ago, University of Phoenix and NBC News partnered together to create Education Nation, an extremely innovative idea to try to fix the enormous problem of America's education system. In this clip, you'll see Governor Nathan Deal talking about how Georgia's education system is perfectly fine and they are producing skilled, intelligent workers. You will see a CEO of one of Georgia's largest companies responding to that question, telling him that yes, you do produce skilled, intelligent workers, however, they lack a certain type of skill.
We think that the role of government at the state level is what our Constitution mandates, and that is to educate our children. And of course, the expectations are that in the process of doing that they will be skilled to be able to be employed.
Georgia. We now can tell a company, if you can't find a qualified worker in Georgia, we'll train them and guarantee it. And that's why these decisions are made, because it's not only the formal education of K-16, but it's also the education at our adult and technical education when people make career changes. That's when you're really moving forward. Education.
Do you feel like government's keeping pace with your needs in the business community?
I think they're becoming alive to the issue, probably over the last 12 to 15 months. But you know what's interesting? We've had a decline in American manufacturing now for almost 25 years, as measured as a percentage of GDP. And it should be no surprise that our manufacturing skills have declined as well. And from our perspective, engineering per se is not an issue for us. Georgia is well equipped with technical universities and colleges. My issue is finding people with the manufacturing skills to actually produce a product.
You need people who can solve problems that haven't been solved before. And actually that's a very tough thing to tell an educator, because it's like, well, what do you want me to teach? You know, you want me to make kids different from the way they are? And I think truly we do need to make kids different from the way we are. We need to encourage them to think right from the beginning, because I think every one of us needs certain skills, but above all else, we need people who can think.
Now you'll see a skilled 9th grade teacher talking about what she believes is wrong and what is right with America's education system.
Seems legitimate to me that a person with a college degree would get a better paying job, but I would also like to see a diploma option reinstated that we used to have, where you had the college prep option and you also had a career tech option, and we went even further to get kids trained with specific job skills with the idea that they would transition directly into the job place. And I miss having that option for the kids that want it. We lost it when we had No Child Left Behind.
Now let's introduce Robert Elz, Executive Vice President of University of Phoenix and a leader in the attempt to reform America's education system.
Question, and one of the challenges facing our education system today, and therefore our society today, we've created a pathway into college, and then we've stated as a society that everyone has to go through college. And somehow if you're not in college, if you don't get into a college when you're out of high school, you're somehow a failure. And that is so far from the truth. Only 25% of our population has a college degree. 75% of our population somehow feels inferior because of the way society has set things up, that everyone has to go to college. The bottom line is we are damaging more than half of our population by putting such a focus on preparation for college work.
The shift in my lifetime has been so much from student responsibility to success to the educator's responsibility for the student's success.
And my contention is all kids have tremendous talents and we squander them pretty ruthlessly.
The number one challenge facing our system of education today, bar none, is standardization. As a society, we've gone way overboard in putting value behind a series of standardized tests that students take at the end of each calendar year, to the point where everything that comes up throughout that calendar year is, in the education environment, focused on teaching to the test. So the children can have a good score on the test, so the teacher can have good grades, so the assistant principal has high test scores, so the principal has high test scores, so the superintendent can say they have high test scores, so property values inflate within that school district's territory. The challenge is high test scores mean nothing, because all that's happening is schools are teaching to the test. And what's happening as a society is we are on a downward slide as our global economy really grows, because the things that large employers value most are not being taught, and in fact are being eliminated from the education programs in our school districts in the United States. Things that organizations truly value in their employees, like the ability to think creatively, innovative thought, the ability to work collaboratively across teams that often spread across time zones and even continents. These are areas that are highly valued, but are in our school districts really not focused on at all. You don't measure innovation, you don't measure creativity, you don't measure teamwork. It's all about standardized testing and the memorization of facts and figures and formulas that everyone can be able to bubble in at the end of a school year. And we call, as a society, we call that learning. And it is not. And it is one of the key drivers of the downfall of America's prowess in our global economy today.